lot. Told him fuck 12, fuck SWAT. Busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals. We been trapping like the 80s. She said the nigga so. Got the cash out. Told him wipe a nigga no. Say slash slash. I won't never sell my soul. And I can back that. And I really wanna know where you at, where I was at back, where the stash at. Cruise the city.
Hey Zouk family, that means we're catching up with another regional hero. This one comes right from the heart. It's from Zouk Singapore, but really because of Zouk Digital, it's Zouk globally. He's not just a decade-long DJ, half of that time spent inside Zouk, but he's also intricate in our marketing as well as artist booking, which will be a really interesting conversation to have later. Nash, how are you?
What's up, Joe? I'm good, man.
Let me ask you, Nash, let's kick off. What have you been doing during the circuit breaker? Because it's a tough time for everyone, although Zouk's been bouncing back with Zouk Digital, which I guess has taken up a lot of your time. But how have you felt during the circuit breaker?
I actually have been on a detox for real. Like, it's been kind of good. I've been taking in the positives. I've been working out. I lost about 10 kgs already.
Power.
Yes. So that's one very positive thing out of this whole thing. I'm also working very closely with the marketing team with Zouk. We're coming up with different initiatives, you know, doing Zouk Digital. We actually threw a virtual festival called Futurescapes, and Diplo was the headliner. So yeah, plenty of stuff, man.
I got to take my hat off. 10 kg is a powerful move. Congratulations. I mean,
Thanks,
it's
bro.
really hard to jump on that to lose weight, but to lose so much weight and stay healthy is awesome. You've been using it wisely. And I got to take my hat off to you. We've been working together on Zouk Digital, but to see what Zouk Singapore achieved with Futurescape was really impressive, man. Diplo, you had Christina Novelli. It was a huge thing for Southeast Asia. So congratulations. That's really cool, man.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. You know, like, I've got a lot of support from everybody else as well. So yeah, props to the team, man.
So let me ask you this. You also work with the marketing team, but let's fast forward to when we can get back up and running. You have a night, you work on a lot of nights, you headline in that massive super club, but Sin City is a special night, especially for the hip hop fans out there. Tell me about Sin City. Yeah,
so basically Sin City is a bi-monthly night, which I kind of run with DJ Rental. So it's a hip hop only night. The main programming usually for the main room is more EDM centric. So once every 2 months we switch it up, we give it an urban flavor, you know, bring in dancers, we bring in MCs, we even hosted Joe Flizzer from Malaysia, 16 Baris, we did that, you know. Yeah, so I'm really passionate about hip hop and, like, you know, pushing that genre forward in Singapore.
I see you also had Jazzy Jeff.
Yes, correct.
As well. So bringing back the OGs and educating Singapore on hip hop from start to finish.
Yes, sir. So the night that Jazzy Jeff was on was actually a night called Thursday Night Hustle, where we do a little bit more throwback, a little bit more R&B, stuff like that. So yeah, 2 different kinds of nights.
Hey, fantastic. It's great because I think when people think of the music scene in Asia, at least I get this translation in Malaysia, people think of trance, they think of hardstyle, they also think of EDM. But the fact that you're representing that market, and also to be fair, we got to say that Zouk Singapore represents techno, they represent soul feed, they literally put the one music title to its fair position. Let me move over a little bit. You're someone that's integral in what Zouk does because you're heading up the booking of all the artists, and by the artists I mean the superstar DJs. You're talking about Futurescapes, you dealt with Diplo's agency, you dealt with Diplo himself. You book a lot of artists a year. How do you get into that, and what's that like for people who must be wondering what it takes?
Well, I never saw myself as a booker when I started DJing, right? But when I got the opportunity from Zushan, because he was looking for a person to help him out with bookings, he was heading the bookings previously. So he just told me, like, yo, bro, why don't you come and help me out? You know, we see how we do. So I just started with doing a bit of artist liaison work. When they come, you know, you pick them up at the airport, you pick them up at the hotel, you make sure they got their food, the access card or whatever. And that's how I just kind of started. And the pinnacle of this was actually going to Amsterdam last year for ADE. So that's when I really saw the whole industry. Like, you could be bumping into Armin just at the hotel lobby and stuff like that. It's like mind-blowing to me, you know. But yeah, it's really been cool, man.
I gotta ask you a couple of questions based off this. So, I mean, AD, for a lot of people who don't know, Amsterdam Dance Event is the networking session of the year for you to meet up with all these DJs.
Correct.
Who were some of the names that you'd be looking at over the next 12 months? Because I know there were some booking lines out. They've obviously been postponed a bit, but who are the kind of big hitters that Singapore could look forward to for 2021?
So, like with the pandemic, so a lot of our booking initiatives have been cut back. We have actually in the pipeline already TNT, more hardstyle based DJs. We're looking also like a bit more trancey DJs as well. I don't have the names off the top of my head right now, but that's the kind of direction we want to go for Zoom Singapore.
Hey, that's phenomenal. I know we were looking at a back-to-back with ATB as well.
Yep.
Which would be a phenomenal booking because someone who is huge.
Yeah.
And I have to point at this. There is a very prominent DJ in Singapore, Mr. Wayne.
Yes.
Used to Spinners in Singapore. If I want to book him for New Genting, what's the fee you would charge me?
Man, I don't think you can afford him, man. He's highly in demand, bro. Everybody wants him to play. Wayne the Insane.
I've been pushing this one for some time. He keeps smiling but doesn't give anything away. I think we can pull him up for retirement because I've seen some OGs spin before. I saw Cher from Zouk KL at Zouk.
Oh yeah.
Closing party pull out the records, man. So if we can get Wayne out, maybe a back-to-back with Sven Vath, that would be pretty special.
Oh, that would be crazy, man. Yeah. It would take something special like that for him to come out of the cave,
We'd try. So Nash, let me ask you, you've been doing this for 10 years, DJing, and what made you get into it in the first place?
Well, at a very young age, my dad always played like music at home, so I was very into the music kind of atmosphere, and I started learning the piano, the very traditional stuff, piano, and like all the other instruments. I tried my hands on it, and I actually went to study music production and music technology after my Form 5, SPF. So that's how I got started. So music kind of never left me. It was always with me, from a very young age. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And who would you earmark as some of the DJs that inspired you to get into the game?
DJ Reto for sure, man. He's one of Singapore's OG hip hop DJs. He has been my mentor. So I saw him actually DJ live in the poly that I was studying in. Like he was just scratching. I was like, yo, I've never seen a DJ live my whole life. So when I saw him, that really inspired me. And from then onwards, I went to dig in more DJs like Jazzy Jeff, Cash Money, and people like that. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's phenomenal you say that. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people over the last 10 weeks, and Jazzy Jeff is someone that comes up so frequently. Other DJs in the hip hop scene, DJ Who Kid, who's 50 Cent's DJ, is another popular one. So, it's great to see. And it's great to see that a local Singaporean DJ is who inspired you to get up and go. That's really cool. Let me quiz you some more with some questions. What are your 3 go-to hip hop tracks, either to recommend to people or you're playing a set, it's an awesome night? What are the 3 that's always on your fingertips?
Wow. Okay, the first one is going to be Kendrick Lamar, DNA. Without a doubt, sure win. Another one that I always play is Crazy in Love, Beyonce. That gets the ladies going crazy. Like anytime the deep in a set and you want the girls to start moving, bam, that's the one. My favorite track is another Kendrick track, Money Trees. I always play it every night. Yeah, that's one of my tracks.
I remember back when I was living in London, Timbaland Headsprung was a great tune to get people jumping.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fat Man Scoop also is another great. Crisscross Jump. I mean, I'm an old man anyway, so and
we do.
And for the ladies or independent women, put your hands up. I mean, it's a guarantee to blow out. So are there any artists, you're a hip hop fan clearly, Nash, and new artists come out all the time. Are there any artists that you can recommend for people to check out that you think will break into the scene early next year?
There's a lot of guys actually, but I want to give a big shout out to the local boys, especially in Malaysia. Like those guys are really pushing the scene, especially with the bilingual use of the language and stuff like that. So if you want to check out, you can check out Keza. He's a up and coming rapper from Malaysia as well. For Singapore, we have Young Raja, Faris Jabbar, these guys are amazing. They are about to break like Southeast Asia. Yeah,
And
so go check them out.
you featured one of them on Futurescape as well, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we featured Young Raja on Futurescapes. Yeah, actually, Diplo shouted him out during the set. He's like, "Yo, who's the rapper?" He's like, "Really dope." Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
It's great. It's great that you draw attention to the local scene, because
Yeah.
even for DJs and even for live music, there's awesome local Southeast Asian talent out there. So
Yes.
let me ask you this: if you weren't a DJ, what would you be doing, Nash?
I would be a pilot.
Really?
Yes, I would be a pilot. Yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot, but then like when I wanted to study that, like people told me I couldn't because I wear glasses. And my degree is quite high, so they were saying that it's going to be an issue. I was like, okay, I'm going to forget it.
So are we talking about SQ pilot? Are we talking about a Top Gun fighter pilot?
SQ pilot.
With that answer.
Yeah.
And you're a sportsman as well, like a lot of people. Like I was speaking to Coma recently, huge football fan. You're a soccer fan yourself, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So who's your team?
United's the team, man. Yeah.
Hey, Alex. We don't need this anymore. It's amazing, I mean, I'm a Fulham fan. My team isn't even in the Premiership, and I fly around the world. But it's phenomenal the outreach that United have, especially in Asia. It's massive. But then with a team that used to have Sir Alex Ferguson, then Mourinho, that you can see why people love them. They're just
yeah, for sure. Yep.
So, Nash, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us today. There's always a question. I ask two questions to people, one for the geographic location and one is a fun question. Let's say we got watchers in Vegas. Let's say we got watchers in KL. Let's say we got watchers in Hong Kong at the 3 different Zouk locations outside of Singapore. And they're coming to Singapore. What would be on your checklist of places to visit when people come and check out your home?
So Singapore, you gotta see Zouk Singapore, number 1. That's the spot you gotta go first, right? And then we gotta go to food spots, man, like Newton. It's a good spot to hang out, get some local food, especially. That's really important. And yeah.
But one thing, you touch on food. You've just opened a new restaurant in Zouk, correct? So Capital Kitchen has just kicked off. It's a new place where you can get some really impressive menus.
Yeah, that's right, correct. So we just started it off. We are just open, so we'll see.
That's awesome. And my last question I ask every single DJ I've ever chatted to. If you were to represent your nationality at the Olympics, what is the sport you would represent and why?
Football player, bro. If it's possible, it's a dream to get Malaysia, because I'm Malaysian. So to get Malaysia into the Olympics and represent them via,
What
football.
position?
Goalkeeper.
Safety at the back, keep safe hands.
Yes.
who Malaysia Boleh will take us to the World Cup. That's the dream, man. I would be safe in your hands. Our bookings have always been safe. Ash, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. It's a huge pleasure. I've been looking forward to this one. And thanks for everything you've done for us during Zouk Digital, but also you're the man on the ground who gets us all these amazing artists we have over here. So we really appreciate it. And last but not least, when will you be coming to play out here?
Once the pandemic's over and the borders open, I'm there, bro.
But only if you bring Wayne with you, that. That's
of course. Of course.
Ash, you take care, stay safe.
Yep.
I can't wait for Capital Kitchen to kick off. We can't wait for Zouk Singapore to come back in the scene. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yep. Thanks, Joe.
Take
Peace
care,
out. Bye-bye.